parents could love their homicidal sons and daughters and forgive them or refuse to believe in their guilt. And now he and Lauren were those parents. They had poured their hearts and souls into the raising of their daughter, and they had delighted in Jodi's maturing toward womanhood after suffering life-threatening childhood allergies that had led to several brushes with death. She had appeared to be doing well for a while, and they had entertained hopes of becoming a happy little family. That was before an enigmatic, insidious mutation of the plague had taken over Jodi's body and soul. "Hello, honey," he managed to say, keeping his eyes focused on her face and her startlingly blue eyes, always so bright and innocent-looking. From the other side of the glass, she smiled sweetly and said, "Hello, Daddy. Thank you for coming to see me." Her pale golden hair and unblemished countenance seemed almost angelic, but he reminded himself that her innate beauty was as deceptive as her soft, beguiling voice. He knew she was probably playing him, on the vague chance that he might eventually be the tool that could persuade her doctors to release her into his custody. He said, "I brought you a necklace for your birthday. They'll give it to you later." "Fuck you and your necklace," she whispered, still smiling as sweetly as before, even as she had allowed her horribly nasty side to come out. She licked her pink tongue over her lips, and he knew how satisfied she was that she had hurt him deeply with mere words. He swallowed hard, unable to speak because he did not want to say anything that might further damage any vestige of her remaining humanity. He was not a believer in prayer, so he could not pray. All he could do was wish that somehow, someday, the plague and its insidious new manifestation inside his daughter might be fully understood and cured. Whatever had made Jodi this way, he desperately hoped that science, not religion, could eventually exorcise it. But much of the time his faith in the scientific effort being put forth here at the Institute wavered, and seemed almost futile, and he tortured himself with angst-filled visions of what might have been, in his life and the lives of his wife and daughter, were it not for the evil that, unknown to him, was already festering 18 years ago, while Jodi was still innocently growing inside Lauren's womb. Chapter 1. 18 years earlier. For Bill and Lauren Curtis, as for many others in the second decade of the 21st century, the joy of budding parenthood was tempered by their dread of the plague. Again and again, it had struck in dozens of communities all across the United States, turning decent people into mindless cravers of live human flesh. There were no vaccines, no cures. No one knew where it would strike next. It would flare up and be put down with guns, bombs, and torches, then lie dormant till it struck somewhere else, with random, maddening frequency. Bill was a dedicated police officer, sworn to protect his friends and neighbors, but he knew that they might suddenly turn on him, or he on them. Lauren had tried to talk him into moving to Pittsburgh, 40 miles away, but they both knew that the big cities were no safer than the small towns, so they stayed in Chapel Grove, Pennsylvania, where they had both grown up. The birth rate had shot up in recent years, as will happen when people are so scared that they will grasp at any affirmation of life. Bill glanced lovingly at Lauren. She was washing breakfast dishes, and her swollen womb made her stand a foot back from the sink. She was into her 7th month now, and wanted badly to have a baby, even though she was scared to bring it into a plague-ridden world. Her first 2 pregnancies had ended in miscarriages. This time she almost didn't dare to be hopeful. Her ultrasound test had revealed that she was going to have a baby girl. She wanted desperately to make it through a full 9 months. She was afraid to jinx herself by decorating the spare room before the infant was born, healthy and coming home. Bill was proud of her for sticking to a healthful diet throughout her pregnancy. A petite ash blonde, she not only ate the right foods, but also performed daily exercises recommended by her obstetrician. A passion for fitness was one of the things she and Bill had in common. She did her routine in the spare room, which, if all went well, would soon be transformed into a nursery, and he did his at the police gym where he could use state-of-the-art machines.